Alright. Welcome back to Isekai Cheat Magician Anime Review, episode number 4. We're here to review episodes 7 through 10. Now, 7 pretty much wraps up the story arc that for the series that's been going into episode 3, where you have Taichi dealing with the red monster, of course, the red orc, basically the same type of creature you fought in episode 3 of the series, and he fights him, and he beats him. Though, then, after he beats him, and then all of a sudden, a freaking two-headed dragon shows up from the freaking ground. And he bows and pretty much defeats it, and apparently, he was requested to come. Yes, the two-headed dragon, which, when I saw this, I'm thinking, like, the way it's designed here, it reminded me a lot of, well, kind of King Ghidorah, but with only two heads. That's what this dragon reminded me of. Based on the design, it looks very similar to King Ghidorah. I'm sure that the animator is supposed to take inspiration from King Ghidorah, except that this is really weird. One head has got two horns, the other one's got one. Yeah, I found that a little weird, but the design looks very similar to King Ghidorah, if you only had two heads of three. So, after he leaves, they all basically, of course, Anya, well, of course, she, what we'll say at the Grandmaster, she basically sneaks away. Actually, she gets brainwashed, yes, brainwashed, to basically go in the field, and she basically sacrificed herself to save Taichi. And apparently, she had fallen for Taichi at some point, except it was a one-sided love because he obviously had a thing for Rin. So she died, but she was happy to be his friend. Then we see apparently she got buried along with all the other people who died, which was nice of them to do that. And then right afterwards, Taichi, Rin, Lamora, and Muller all summoned to the capital by the king. Yep. And we finally get a chance to see, well, we get there. We're introduced to Sama, who's basically the commander-in-chief. And when I first saw her, I'm like, wait a minute. Is that the same girl from Through Revolution, except basically with a little bit less clothing? Yeah, it looks very similar to her. Like, very similar design. Heck, even had a freaking six-pack this almost got. So, basically it's revealed that the king ordered basically these two be summoned. Excuse me. But the person who summoned them was his daughter, Princess Charlotte. And the other reason why Ren... Now, apparently, Taichi was the actual chosen one. The other reason why Ren came along from their perspective was because the spell against her, basically referencing the first episode of the series. So, but from their perspective, Ren basically hitched the ride. And the only reason why happened in the field was because the spell got interrupted. Okay, so we get an explanation for that. So, then of course, to test her power, Samara decides to fight Taichi in a very serious practice duel. Yes, a practice duel where basically he defeats her, and then she proceeds to pounce on him. It's like, oh, I want you to marry me. I'm like, you're like, I'm too young, and she's basically infatuated with him. All because basically he defeated her. Now, this I have seen in one other anime where a woman has fallen for the main character after defeating them in combat in front of her own soldiers. This happened in the Aristocrats Early Adventure. The only difference is that the woman was different species. Yes, this one's clearly a very strong woman with dark skin. The other was an elf. And plus, also, she's a little bit older than the main character. I'm not sure how old she's supposed to be. So, and of course, she's basically held on very, like, basically, like, she did this again also in 10. Yes, so, and then, of course, too young. And then, of course, basically, this leads into a major battle, like, right after this. Well, a very weird battle where we have a Marquis who works... Now, apparently the reason why that they were summoned... Okay, so aside from King Ordi, he didn't do this purely out of randomness. Apparently, it was due to the fact the country's embroiled in a civil war. Even though conflict hasn't broken out yet, but basically the country's split into two factions. One is supports the king, the other supports his younger brother who's a duke. Now, the whole thing of a duke being the younger brother of basically king of the country, well, the main character's main series hidden, this I have seen in one other anime I could think of where the younger brother is a duke, and that was another one on my smartphone. And in that one, basically the main character got engaged to both these two daughters. Yes, this is indeed true. And then pretty much basically like, okay, so there's Marquis who's basically like a war hawk. He wants to go to war, and he approaches the royal capital with only 1,000 troops. Now the opponent though, they have no weapons except these weird magic rings which have these magic stones. Except these are defective ones, because after a while, people will start passing out, pretty much dying from using these damn things too much. And that kind of happens, and he's like, what's going on? Why are you guys falling? And of course, you see him basically, he's getting tired. Because he's basically, also these things apparently use up their life force. Because, well, they have magic. So Taichi opens up basically the ground in front of them, they can't go around, and eventually they're all pretty much wasted, and then the Marquis is stabbed by one of his fellow comrades because he said, oh, I love you, I love my usefulness, I love your usefulness. And he's like, you told me basically he's going to be powerful. He did not tell me they have a side effect. And by the way, do the forces define about this? Not really, no. Of course, proclaim a hero, obviously. And as a thank you, they get weapons. Of course, Taichi gets a katana. Rin gets a magic wand. Well, actually, more like a staff. Mahler gets a new dagger. In the case of Lemura, she gets basically a magic ring that does not have the defective magic stone in it. So, by the way, also, like night before, basically, Taichi ate so much because Sandra was drunk. Yeah. Because he was drunk, so basically, of course, he woke up and apparently he had vomiting. Of course, he was sick. It's a little better afterwards. And then, of course, Sandra decides, okay, so let's have these two fight. Her pounce on him. Oh, by the way, before the battle, it's like, she's like, yeah, how about after the war we get married? He's like, he's like half his age. She's like, I'm like, dude. I get the fact you're in high school, but you have this other one besides the woman you're crushing on, who's in love with you. Go for it. You have a freaking hair basically right for you. You have your childhood friend who's got a thing for you. You have your elf friend. She has a thing for you. Like, basically, it's implied Mahler has got a thing for him too. And you have Sarge who's got a thing for him too. Lemira, I can't really tell if she has a thing for him. It's like, I think she kind of likes him, but not in the case of romantic sense. But even he may have a thing for her because she's hot. Yes, she's hot. I think it's kind of funny. So, and of course they go away for her. Then of course he has a fight with Keller, who basically his whole thing is like, oh, he gets a statue from the cardinal, who's speaking to this woman behind this curtain who I read about who this person is. I'm not going to reveal who she is until like next episode. But so they have a fight. Apparently this thing's supposed to limit his power. But then after Callan loses, the thing doesn't wear off, so like destroys. And also Grammy shows up, destroys the damn thing. Taichi's power is restored, and basically he destroys the Dark Spirit. And this kind of ends the feud between Keller and Taichi with this fight, because he lost his rematch, so they're done. As for the Kachova New Leaf, don't know. And then Taichi finds out, oh, the rebel army is advancing on the capital. Setting up probably the events of the next two episodes. Yeah, and that's kind of basically what happens. And I'm like, wow, Taichi. You, but before the battle itself, night before, one of the Dukes, one of the Dukes, one of the Marquis worked for him, sent an assassin to kill Reed in the middle of the night. But locking up, basically, they found him, and before they could interrogate him, he proceeded to bite one of his teeth, and then fall off a balcony, killing himself. Okay, interesting. Not the first time I've seen that. As a matter of fact, I just saw that over in from Paul Countryman, Master Swordsman did that with assassins, where instead of talking, they all commit suicide with cyanide in their teeth. Because of course they did. But otherwise, though, great 4 episodes. I thoroughly enjoy these ones. Yep. So yeah, that's particularly a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications. Next up, we have 2 more left to go. Now, after I finish the last 2 episodes, before I go on to the OVA for the series, I am going to do, well, as of right now, what has been released dubbed. Because I thought new sagas, because I heard one of the new anime starts too. Excuse me. I heard that dub was released today for that one, but not been released yet. The writers are here. I'm still going to watch it today. I'm waiting for the dub. So as soon as I finish 12, I'm going to go straight to do Reborn as a Vending Machine. I'm looking forward to talking about this one. Yep. But see you next video. Bye.